Hey y'all, it's Nathan here with the Garrett Racing Team. This is going to be our third video of our three-part series that we did on our radio systems for this race car. The first video, if you want to look back and see, we actually made these custom-made earbuds for our sound and how to get them into our driver's helmet. The second video, we wired up our actual helmet with the wiring and connection harness and all that so that I can actually have a quick connect from when we go to the racetrack. And then our final video, which is this, is going to include wiring up our red button push to start onto our steering wheel. So as I'm getting around the track and I'm saying, hey, this guy's in front of me, what do I need to do? Or, hey, we got a caution, the car's too loose or too tight, I can push that red button and me and my spotter can communicate back and forth. So this is what this video is going to consist of, basically finish up wiring the car and basically getting it ready for the racetrack. So what I'm going to show you is basically how this quick connect, disconnect wheel comes off, how we're going to wire this up so we have to more or less strain relieve everything like we did our helmet so we don't break any of the harnesses at the actual push button. And we'll let's wrap up getting our car wired and have a good complete radio system so when we go to the track everything's nice and neat and ready to go. So I appreciate y'all checking us out at the shop today. If you're new to the channel, this is where you're going to find everything to do with local short track racing, NASCAR, iRacing, and general automotive high performance stuff. If you're coming back, again, thank y'all. You're really making the difference in helping our channel grow and giving us recommendations. Also, guys, if you hadn't already, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, share this video with people that you know. If you hit that little bell icon, it'll notify you when we got new videos coming out. And don't forget, we've also got our Facebook page at Garrett Racing Team. We've got all kinds of good information on there for you relating to this race car, guys. All of it really helps, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Let's get in here and get to work. Thank y'all. All right, y'all, let's get to work. So there's really no need for me to get out of the car right now, so I'm going to try to do a lot of this while I'm sitting here in the driver's seat. It makes it a little easier when I'm looking at all this stuff. So I'm going to use our basically quick disconnect steering wheel. So you pull this more or less lever here or sliding collar. It slides off that spline shaft. Nice, easy to get to once we're out there and, you know, getting in and out of the car real quick. We're going to actually take one part of our wiring harness here, and we've got two sections of it. I got basically the piece that goes to the wheel and then the piece that gets more or less attached to the inside of the car here that I'll actually plug into. And then I also have a few other, I guess you could say, extenders that we're going to run to make sure that we have the length. And then the radio will probably mount right here in our little radio box so that we can get to it easily if we have to. So to start with, they sent us some more or less instructions that say stop, must be strain relieved. Again, something that I stressed in our last video, you must strain relieve these deals. If not, you'll end up pulling the wires out and causing you a lot of headache with, you know, it'll have missing connections and it won't work again. And you'll have to rebuy it because a lot of these wires are so small you can't really, you know, splice them together. So more or less, I'm going to look at what they have here, the little diagram, and get an idea of how I want to do that. Take my steering wheel. I want to probably put it on my right-hand side. That's more or less where I'm comfortable. When I'm going around on the track, I can push the button and, you know, have a good place to talk to my spotter. So I'm going to go ahead and look at that real quick, get it wired up, and I'll show y'all what I do when I get to it. All right? All right, y'all. I've got it more or less the way I think it should be. So instead of using zip ties this time, I had these little Velcro, more or less banding straps that I had to help strain relief it. So I more or less made a loop in there, put one band on one side, one band on the other side of the coil, and then went back through and looped it. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but it makes it for a nice clean look, and I can push the button when I need to speak. So, and then I have my I guess you would call it coiled section would be used to actually stretch. So this won't hurt anything if it's pulled on and stretched. It won't hurt anything if this part is pulled and stretched on. That's what it's designed to do. But the other part's nice and secure. And as you can see now, when we slide it on the steering wheel in the steering shaft, I can sit there, you know, drive, push my button now on this side, and we're good to go, y'all. So now I'm going to move on and look at putting our additional wiring harness here. And I'm thinking what I want to do is probably put it on the steering shaft that you see right here. It may be a good idea, from what I can tell, to kind of have it fasten this blue piece like so. As you can see right there in the camera, I hope. There you go, this piece here. And then I can take my cold section and plug it right in. And I'm good to go, y'all. So let me see how I can do this and get an idea of how it's going to work. And I'll come up with something and show you how I did it. All right, y'all. I went a little bit extra on this part with the wiring harness. I thought I was just going to kind of zip tie some of this stuff together and make it work, but after looking at it, I wanted a little more permanent situation. That way, it won't be sliding around with me. And on race nights, it seems like if something can break or move or get out of place, it always happens then. So to do it right, actually what I did was I took that blue cable end, used 2 P-clips like I did last week on my helmet, and riveted this to basically my dash. So once I slide this in here, you'll be able to see once I slide this in here, you can more or less see where my pickup point is. I'm going to run the wire on the inside through this little hole right here. Kind of go down and feed it through there. But look, this is what the main thing I was going to show you. Once I put the steering wheel on, once the steering wheel is on, I can take this cabled wire and watch this. Fits right in there, right on my dash. The cabling doesn't really get in the way of my steering wheel, and it's nice and out of the way. It doesn't get around my legs, none of that stuff. So that's a real big plus. You don't want anything getting tangled up around your feet, your legs. You don't want any of that stuff shifting when we're getting in and out of the car, and it's going to make it a lot nicer trying to get this set up, and then for long-term race days won't be as hectic. So my next deal I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take 2 of these basically extension pieces here. They're basically adapters to tie into my big main harness that I have that I'm going to run actually to my radios and my helmet plugs into. So that's what we're going to do next. I want to show you that, but I got to get everything situated first. All right. So how to get back in the car to see how I actually want to run these cables. So coming from my blue connection that I just put on with those P-clips, I have that end here. I basically have an adapter cable that allows me to have a male end on both sides so that I can connect it to my main wiring cable here that goes to my radio and to my helmet. So what I'm going to do now is just basically plug in this adapter cable just to kind of get an idea what my links and stuff are going to be. That should just click in like that. Then I can take my main cable that my harness and stuff is more or less tied into, the heart of all of it. Click that in there. So now I'm good and connected. So I can hard mount this line here, and basically the only things that'll be coming unplugged when I come in and out of the car will be this end for the radio and this end for my actual earbuds that my harness and stuff are tied into. So basically you can see the more or less red cable here that my helmet is, it just kind of clicks in like that. So really that can be mounted anywhere in here. I'm just going to pull it over here on the left-hand side of me, or here on the bottom, because I feel like I'm probably going to end up mounting my radio down, well, I don't want it to be in the way, probably here to the right somewhere, out of the way of my leg, because if you get hit or anything, you don't want your knee hitting it and breaking something on your body. So we're going to get in here and do that, but now I basically have my whole harness and connections here ready to go. So I'm going to think this thing through, see how I want to do it, and then once I get wrapped up, I'll show you how it all works together. I'll put my steering wheel on, put my helmet and earbuds in. I'll show you how they basically all connect together, how I would turn everything on, and more or less how we would do before we head out on the track. So we're getting more or less wrapped up here, y'all, and going to have a complete system, so stay tuned. All right, y'all, I more or less got what I think is going to work for me. So to kind of step you through the process, now the system is complete and installed, I want to show you kind of how we would do it when we're at the racetrack and get ready to go out before our practice day or race or anything else when we're at the racetrack. So what I'll do is get my custom earbuds first. The good thing about these being color-coded red and blue, red that starts with R always goes on the right-hand side. So R for right hand for red. So we'll go ahead and put these in. Make sure I got them turned the right way. All right, we're good and set there. Now we'll put our helmet on. I'm going to take the Hans off just for a second, just to make it a little easier, since I don't have anybody in here to help me. So, got my helmet on, y'all. Next step would be I always do my chin strap, so run my chin strap through my loop. And then basically taking the end of our earbuds from last week when we did our wiring for our helmet. I don't know if you can see this shiny piece here. This is for our jack, for our earbuds. It's nice and hard mounted, strain relieved. Just push that in there, nice and secure. So we're good and set on our radios now. Now what I'll do is I'll fish around and find my jack that goes to our main cable. Take the red end from our helmet wiring. Plug that in. So now we're all wired in. Then when we take our radio, place it in our radio box, and basically take the other end of our harness that looks like this. It's got the double edged on it. Plug it in, just like so. Now we're all wired up. So once my spotter turns his radio on, me and him both should be able to speak. And before I forget it, I've actually got one more portion to this. We actually got to put the steering wheel on. We'll slide it on. Tug on it, make sure it's on there good and tight. Take the end from that. Plug it into our dash. We're good to go, y'all. Nice, good, clean job. Everything's up and out of the way of my legs. I've got free movement in here. Nothing to get tripped over or wrapped up or entangled. But now I actually have communication with my spotter, crew chief, whoever I want to talk to out on the track. So I can push my red button, speak, and then I can also hear them on the inside. It's mainly critical that I hear them more than they hear me, but it's still nice to have this communication when you're out on the track. So, guys, I really do appreciate it. I thank y'all for checking us out. This 3-part series that I did, I hope it was really informative to you. It had a lot of good information in there. If you're trying to do this type of thing for yourself, not that hard to do. You just got to take the time and do it. Make sure you got all the pieces. The hardest part of probably this whole thing is making sure you have the right connections for your job. So a lot of these radio system companies can help you with that. And if you have any questions with that, just leave me a comment below or reach out to me. I can try to help you out if I can. But guys, we're ready to go to the track now. We'll have a good, complete radio system. Should be good for many years to come. Keep me safe on the track. Hopefully help us win some races. But it's a good, nice job. So thank y'all. If you hadn't already, like this video, share, subscribe. Check out my Garrett Racing Team page on Facebook. It really does help, y'all, helping us get around the racetrack. And, hey, before long, we're going to be turning some laps here. We'll be able to get there once the spring weather gets to going into effect, warming up some. We'll do some test days and that type of thing. So until next time, y'all, thank you for coming along on this ride. Be safe. Be good. All right. Thank y'all.